What's up, everybody? Welcome to the original Next Level Gaming podcast. Welcome on this Sunday night. Thanks for being with us again. And sorry about last week. We had all kinds of weird problems that were going on with my computer, and then it decided to reboot and do updates for 2 hours. So,
He just got his computer back.
yes, needless to say, it was a total bust, and that is a shame because we had a lot to talk about that's a little out of date, but we're going to talk about it anyway, damn it, because that's what we do. That's what we do. So how are you guys doing tonight? What's up, panel?
And I'm all right.
Yeah? Ghost Recon?
Yeah, I finished it. I completed it, 100%. So.
Yeah, I appreciate. I'm
done.
glad you didn't wait for me because you'd still be waiting.
Okay.
So, sorry.
It's all right, man. We'll help you out once time comes.
Yeah, well, so I got to get through the next games that I started to play now because, anyway. So enough about that. How's everybody's week been?
Good.
Yeah.
Filled with hockey and Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon, yeah, mostly.
And vacation for one of us.
Yeah, work was killer, but vacation starts today, so I got to sleep in a little bit and did a little housework and knocked out some gaming, and yeah, it's going to be a fantastic week.
And shorn his beard.
Yeah,
so
that's and the hair goes before Thursday. I'm gonna do the whole buzz thing because
remind me
it's
when
getting to be summer weather.
Well, when is your drive? Your super drive?
Well, the drive goes in June. That's June 29th for the Lamborghini.
Okay,
but,
so you got to get aerodynamic.
Yes, although I'll be helmeted, but the the hair is by request for the other trip.
Gotcha.
So
just remember, sunscreen.
Oh yeah.
Nah, nobody needs that stuff.
Oh,
if I go below 50 SPF, I fry. I have to put on I'm looking for 300 SPF.
Yeah, it's like that stuff from RoboCop. The blue stuff.
Exactly.
I'm with you, man. When I was young, I was a redhead, so I could be inside looking outside at the sun and get burnt. So I'm with you. So.
You don't know sunburns.
And you know I know you were gonna wear a helmet in the Lambo. I was like, yeah, let me make a witty little comment. It's like, no, there will be a helmet. It's
But you don't know sunburns though until you do the racing hobby that I did, because we race out at the airport and it's an expanse of white concrete, and when the underside of your nose burns because of the reflection.
Oh.
Yeah, because no one thinks to put suntan lotion on the underside of their nose, but I was all fine except I was burned right here.
Crazy! Wow,
that is crazy.
I can't say that I've had that. Ugh. So, oh well.
What we do for love.
Yes, it's what we do for love and driving. So, well, what you been playing?
Lots of good gaming though. I've been playing Prey. Been playing the heck out of some Mario Kart 8, which so I'll get into that when we talk about it some more. Forza, because I'm going to be talking about a new bounty hunt tonight, so I had to go put down a time, and I had to chase one of our NLG club members in the game. Took another one of my records, so that couldn't be allowed to happen. so that took a little bit to get back. And just trying to knock out some early retro stuff. Trying to get ahead of it, and looking forward to tonight's Retro Rec. I've been waiting to talk about this game for a week.
Yeah,
it's one of the gems. I think it'll be a really good one. And play Tetris with the wife. And so whatever floats my boat at the moment. My backlog took a real hit with that summer sale. So Mad Max. I need to start Mordor. So yeah, all kinds. And I got the whole week off, so that's the plan. I'm gonna attack.
Nice. Very nice. What's up, Peter?
All right. Yeah, well, I said I finished Ghost Recon.
Yes, you did.
So now I'm ready for Narco Road.
Oh, more Ghost Recon.
Yeah, more Ghost Recon.
More Ghost Recon.
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, yeah, since we didn't have a podcast last week, I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. I platinumed that.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool.
Podcast high
And,
five.
Yeah, hey. Let's see what else. Mario Kart as well on the Switch.
It's so good.
It's really good. The
So
tracks are
good.
so much fun. They did an excellent design job with those tracks. A lot of fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like some of the extra steps they took with the music and the design cues from other games, like on the Zelda and the F-Zero tracks and such.
Right. Yeah, it's really good. Plus, I like what I said in previous broadcasts is like I use the Switch more as a handheld, and Mario Kart, it's just awesome. You know,
Perfect for that.
pick it up and go wherever you want to go, and perfect.
It looks so good for a handheld game.
Oh yeah,
It looks phenomenal on that little screen.
I even had it here on my monitor, which is only 27 inches, but I'm pretty close to it. But it still looks darn fine.
The misses like that one, so we run it. I played it. That's the game that I've played more on the TV than anything I've had on the Switch thus far, because the miss is into it.
A little bit of Puyo Puyo Tetris as well. Also fun.
Solid,
I mean, it's
solid little title. Yeah.
It is.
Nice.
So all
Wish
good.
I'd known that I'd have gotten some footage for this week, but it's all right.
Yeah, we can do it another week,
Yeah, we can.
Another time.
another time.
Bye.
But
Wait,
yeah,
you mean there's more of these?
Huh?
You mean there's more of these?
Yeah, we might
Yep.
do one, again before the end
Sometime.
of time. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Pending my machine doesn't, crap out on me again.
An update.
An update, a 2-hour update. So. Frankie says he's still not a turd. Yes, trust me, Jason wanted to do it.
I
Jason
keep
wanted
suggesting.
to do it.
Nobody listens.
Nobody listens. Jason, what's up, man?
Not much.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, I was playing some Ghost Recon, trying to get that kind of, at least get the majority of that game out of the way. Still lots of fun, though. I've been just kind of hanging out by myself because you know how it's been with Xbox lately in the alpha program or alpha test. It keeps kicking me out of parties, so it's like, whatever. Play by myself. Played some, what was that game called? Rive. Ever hear that one? Rive?
Riva?
Rive, yeah. R-I-V-E.
No.
Played some of that on Steam. It's a pretty fun little, game. It's kind of, you're like a little tank thing. I don't know what exactly you are, but you're kind of going through a space station, just shooting stuff. It's a 2D side-scrolling kind of shooter, platformer. It's fun.
Okay.
Spent a couple hours on that. And for boredom, I played some Polybridge. Building those bridges and watch them collapse.
Oh, cool.
It's like, hi, I'm playing a tech demo.
But yeah, it's fun. It's kind of fills in a little bit of time when you need it.
Nice.
Did anyone else pick up Cities?
No.
No, I think it was just you and Frankie, who's not here.
Yeah.
This week.
I want
thought
it
about
actually. Since you said that, I played some. What's that? Oh, the EA version of that.
SimCity.
SimCity, yes. I played some of that too. Forgot about that one.
Max.
If cities would be Play Anywhere, I would have picked it up.
Isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it is.
And I think that's a huge thing. But
I mean,
Thought
the
that
game
was
looks
gonna
good, but I don't know. Just for the price of it and being Xbox only, not Play Anywhere, I can leave it for now.
yeah, I'll wait for a sale.
I think
Wait for it
maybe
to-
it's because it was on PC first.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, it's on.
Well-
It's been on Steam for a bit.
Right.
Speaking of which, Thimbleweed Park, Peter,
Yes.
they finally brought the Windows 10 version to Play Anywhere.
Play Anywhere. Yeah, I saw it, which is, I think, excellent.
I need to get
Haven't
that
tried
one.
it, but the thought that I can is very appealing. So
All right, so who am I? Oh, Nathan.
It's Frankie's turn, right? Frankie.
This is
Oh,
Frankie's. This is Frankie's week
Bueller.
off, so he's in the chat room, but he's chatting with us while he's with his wife.
I won't tell her. It's okay.
Annihilator, we will get to that tonight. Do not worry. We're going to talk about that, and I'll address the chat room in a moment.
Yep.
But Nathan, what's going on, man?
On that.
How you
Oh,
feeling?
nothing much. I'm getting over a cough, but you know how the weather is. Well, no winter. Up and down, up and down, up and down. We got 20-degree weather tonight, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're down in the 40s up here. It got warm for a day or two, and then it. Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
So
been
my
raining
health
so
went-
much. It's been
It's
raining so
either
much. it's
AC
flooding
or
up
heat
here.
on. There's no in between.
No, there's no in between at all.
Luckily,
We're
I'm
all
in the
Peter and I are
basement.
going to die of
Ah.
pneumonia before the next podcast.
Probably.
That was the issue. You had to put the medicine.
Right. So I see you're sporting a Call of Duty World War II hat.
Right? I think there's something to talk about tonight. I don't know though.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, since we, what's really weird is that nobody was talking about Call of Duty after the reveal.
Right.
Nobody. Like, it was just
No.
kind of
What it was yay, it's World War II. Okay, back to doing what we were doing before.
right. Like nobody.
Activision
Back to
did
Infinite
set the
Warfare.
strongest
You know what part of it
pre-order
was?
ever.
What?
Part of it was and it's 2 days for us and 1 day for our boy Jamie, who is in England there. But the Hot Wheels trailer followed right up, and it got a lot of buzz.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm so all over that. Oh, the Hot Wheels thing looks
That's what I
amazing.
meant to grab. I meant to grab the Hot Wheels trailer. But what we'll do is, since it comes out on the 19th, we'll that following podcast, we will of course have some footage. And what I'm going to try to do
I
is,
thought it was coming out next week. No.
was it? Forgive me. I may be wrong. Hang on.
Go home, Mike. You're drunk.
I might be. I don't know what's wrong with me these days.
Oh no, Creepy's back.
No, he's all right.
Creepy.
That's my boy.
Oh,
Bunny.
Creepy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We got to
that's
get
what-
him. We got to get him on. Have you guys seen his videos? They're actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he showed I think it was the Call of Duty one, right? His reaction was priceless.
Yes. I was pleasantly surprised by Creepy's videos. So definitely he's in the queue. Him and Fastback, and one day if Maddie Beast ever comes back, May 9th. I'm sorry, May 9th, not 19th. It's coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we will be covering that next week for sure.
All over it.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Creepy did.
There will be streams. There will be videos.
I'm gonna have to
wait.
beam it.
This is one of the reasons I'm finishing the game. I'm finishing right
I may
now.
have to go find the game just for this reason.
You have to. You what?
Ah, yeah. Hey,
I
isn't
forgot,
it
he
he
doesn't
still
have-
or not? Forza
Right.
Horizon?
I don't know if
I
it's
think
still on sale.
someone grabbed it. I think.
Yeah. Matt.
Yes,
Yeah,
he grabbed
he
it. He
did.
said
Yeah,
he said he had it.
he-
He said he got it
he
last
grabbed
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta, dude. You have to get it. You have to get with it. Get with it. Got to do it. Got to find it because that Hot Wheels looks just fire.
I got to get kicked
Yeah.
because I don't have the game.
It
Sorry,
looks
guys.
fire. So
It does look very good.
yeah. So what you playing these
Forza,
days?
do you have Forza Horizon? Do you have Motorsport 6?
Me, I don't have any of them.
Dang.
I know.
No.
I failed.
You do fail. You fail.
No,
Okay.
I've
Yeah, I can see
played
how
this
much
game
it is.
called
It's
Ghost
45% off for the duo pack Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Motorsport 6.
It's a
Recon.
good
right.
deal.
That's a good
Yeah, that's
deal.
killer.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
your,
it's all my.
that's your homework assignment.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you been playing?
This is a tough question. I don't know. Ghost Recon, maybe.
Yeah.
Just redone.
Just a little bit.
I have officially finished it too, so I'm looking forward to Narco Road 2. So
Nice.
we'll have to have a video on it.
Nice.
Yeah, we do. See what it's all about.
All right. And so what's the collectible of the week behind you? I
Dead
like
Island's
this. You're gonna run out of collectibles though.
I know, right? Dead Island.
Is that Dead Island? You got how? I didn't even know there was a collectible for Dead Island.
Maybe there's only one.
Debatable
Apparently
whether
there
there should
is.
have been.
Right. Oh, it's Riptide.
And then, of
Nice.
course, they have stuff inside the briefcase.
Nice.
That is nice.
Who doesn't love a hula girl?
It's a zombie
Oh, yeah.
hand beer can opener too.
Nice. Very, very nice. All
And
right.
then I would say it's Frankie's turn, but I don't think he's going to answer me.
No. I know what he's been playing. He started to play Prey.
Yep.
So.
I was watching some of his stream the other
I
night.
thought I heard him scream once or twice.
So, all right. So I have also. So I have my obsession with Horizon Zero Dawn has come to an end.
Yay.
I have also beaten the game, and I have also platinumed the game. It was my first
Nice.
platinum, probably my only.
No, the order is pretty easy.
It reminds me though why I don't achievement hunt and trophy hunt,
Yeah.
because good God, finding those 23 grazer dummies was just
It's called, find a video online and follow it.
Yeah, exactly.
right. Find a wiki.
And then with the unlimited fast travel, it's like.
Would it take me like half an hour to do the 23 grazers because I watched a video?
Yeah. It still took 20 minutes because I had to figure out which ones I had, which ones I didn't.
I just ran to every spot. That's all.
But at least they didn't disappear. You still see them laying on the ground.
Yes, this is true. So, the next game that I started, I looked at Doom. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start Doom, and then
he lied.
Then I hit the trigger down button, and I forgot that I had Wolfenstein and the Old Blood, which is the prequel standalone to New Order, and I'm thinking, all right, it's the standalone prequel. It's supposed to be a short game. It was only $20. It'll take me a couple of days. I'll get through it, and then I'll move on. So, I think I'm halfway through. I've probably put about 7 hours into the game, and it is longer than it leads on. I don't know how they sold that game for less than $60, because right now, to me, it is as good as the New Order, and it so far is about as long. I thought I was done. Basically, as with any of the Wolfenstein games, you are either escaping from or going into or waging war on Castle Wolfenstein. Well, I got to the part where I escaped Castle Wolfenstein, and I get an achievement. It says freedom. I'm like, all right, there we go. All right, I'm done. Oh no, that was part 1.
Yeah.
So, I'm now
Have you
in
been
part
finding
2.
the spots that there's beds and stuff?
I am now on part 2. I am in chapter 5. I am in a town, and I have no idea at this point what's going to happen, but I have been told to keep going because there's a twist coming. I just don't know what
the
it
game
is yet.
trolled you.
Yes, the game trolled me. But let me tell you, machine game. I think we know by now that one of the games that Bethesda is going to announce at E3 is another Wolfenstein. As far as I'm concerned, machine games can go full steam ahead, because that they have rocked that series, and I'm all in. I'm gonna be all in. So that's my latest obsession. When I get done with that, I'll move to Doom or something else, or Ghost Recon or something else, or I'm thinking maybe Abzu. I want to try that game.
You
Or
should
the
actually
new.
just knock that out. It's really short, but it's worth doing.
The other one is the one that just came out for Games with Gold, the Ghana Sisters, whatever that one is called. I want to hit that one too. I've seen a couple things.
Yeah, I played that Star Wars.
Liddy says maybe
Quantum
Break is more to my liking. So I just don't know where they're gonna go with Wolfenstein. I mean, you've already, in the New Order, you've already taken care of, pretty much everything you need to do. So I'm thinking it would be great if they went Indiana Jones style and went to the Russians. He ages a little bit, gets a little gray hair, takes on the Russians in the Crystal Skull. There it is. Wolfenstein, the Crystal Skull. Money in the bank.
I mean, Alien Covenant is coming out. So.
Yeah. So, All right. So, but before we start getting to our topics, I want to say welcome to everybody in the chat room. It is lit already, and our good friends, are in. Um, I see reprobate. I see it's like romper room. I see reprobate, and I see and so witty and soup and fast and Frankie, who is sneaking into the chat room. Creepy bunny. Um, all great friends of the podcast. And I think we did see somebody new, Annihilator83, who said, "What do you
Annihilator,
guys
welcome.
think on what Phil Spencer said?" And we will, like I said, we will get to that. Um, and so, for those of you uh, who are watching the chat room and going, "Hey, how do I get into that chat room?" Well, come see us live Sunday nights at 9. That's how you get in. And I did not say. Well, somebody said, oh, okay.
Around 9.
Yeah,
Just
I
say
didn't say
around 9.
around 9. Somewhere around 9. If you
Right.
get in at 9, you'll pretty much be okay. So, Vyprstryke says 1 is amazing, 2 is good but disappointing because it's not a sequel. Well, it was a see that's the thing. I don't think it wasn't meant as a sequel, and I don't think people thought it was as going to be as good as it was, to be honest. Like I thought it was going to be like a 4 or 5 hour game. I get in, shoot a bunch of Nazis, which of course always holds a special place in my heart, and then done, and I'm on to the next game. No, as I said, I think I'm halfway through, and I've put a good 7-8 hours into the game already, and I'm probably gonna get back to it when we're done. So I can get done, so we can get so he's swift. And Enrique from Basement Radio Arcade Podcast is in the chat room. What's up, man? By all means, you know what to throw down in there. Tell him the day and time. You know you're gonna. All right. Let's move to our topics of the evening, and a good one to start on, since it just came out this week, is Prey.
Pancakes? Oh, no.
So, and Annihilator. Oh, thank you. It is difficult because 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. over here is typically 3 to 4 a.m. somewhere in Europe, sometimes 5 or 6. So, hey, we do appreciate that you check us out when you can, and hey, being in live for as long as you can tonight, that is fantastic. Thank you so much, so much. All right, Prey. I'll put up the footage that I took of the stream for the 1 hour demo. However, Juan, since you have been the one mainly playing it, who else has it?
Yeah, I do not.
Not I.
The turd.
Frankie has it.
He has it, but
Yeah.
But we don't listen to Frankie. So.
no, but that's all right. So we'll let Juan kind of take a little bit. I'll take a little bit based upon what I played in the demo, but take it away.
Yeah, well, basically, it's I'm liking it so far. I'm just over 2 hours in, so I'm waiting for this moment. I've heard on Twitter, that there's someone who's, oh my god, I just waited this moment. I'm kind of waiting for that, but so far it's been really cool. It's got a very BioShock kind of feel. In fact, this is something that this is one that my wife would play with me, if you will, or watch. And a little ways into it, she's asking, "Is this from the people who did BioShock?" And I'm like, "No," but I was tickled that she's picking up on those similarities because she loved BioShock. But as it goes, it's I'm out to jury a little bit on the combat. It's not offensive. I don't know that I love it yet, but the atmosphere is great. The kind of it's got that same kind of storytelling that BioShock has, where you wake up and you're in a place and it's not what it was, and there are records, audio records to find, and clues and email, and the mechanics for upgrading are pretty slick, and the various way that you can play. And this isn't exactly groundbreaking stuff, but you can you can build a security guy who's going to go guns blazing, or you can go with the engineer and make traps, or so forth. But yeah, the overall style is really good. Everything, it's a pretty game, but the atmosphere, I think, is really where it's at. It's I find myself, and anyone who knows much about it, the station has mimics that can look like inanimate objects. And so there's, kind of jump scare type of thing. It's not exactly that, but there's always just which one, is this coffee mug a mimic, or is this that everything? It keeps you on your toes. There's a high level of anxiety.
Have you jumped a few times?
Once there was once where an item turned into a monster in my face, and oh my god! But the way
I've
the
jumped
story
a couple times just watching people play it on Twitch. Yeah, like you're saying, you're looking at an object. Okay, it's a coffee cup. All of a sudden, boom! It's a monster jumping at you. I'm like, okay,
right.
Like,
but the music, everything ties into this great atmosphere, this real sense of dread of moving through the place. And I just got to where I did a little EVA, outdoors work, and that mechanic's pretty cool with like a zero gravity mechanic, so that was kind of sweet. But yeah, it definitely a little early to really say for sure yet, but I'd say it's probably top 5 of the year so far for me.
That's pretty good. I've heard a lot of people say it's their game of the year contender.
Yeah, I think the demo was like an early build or something. Like the demo wasn't what was all that terribly indicative, so it got some bad buzz before the launch. But I haven't had any kind of it's real technical glitches with it, or so far it's been pretty enjoyable.
Well, and you're seeing the demo footage here. I mean, this is what I took. And by the way, I love interactive intros like this. I don't know why. It's not like it's a big extra thing, but I just like when you get a little bit of that gameplay kind of meshed into the intro, so it feels like you're either in a movie or you feel like the game, like right here. See how the Arcane Studios is coming up there, and you can look out the window and see. It's kind of, I like that kind of stuff. To answer Enrique's question, Bethesda did say that they were fixing the PS4 lag for launch, so you should not have that. And I'm sure if there's still any left, they'll patch it. Bethesda is good at patching things, apparently. But I got through a bit of the demo, and a couple of things that I liked about it that puts it on my radar to get as soon as I can, money notwithstanding. I'm getting back into the need for linear games. I understand with Prey that it's a little loose in that you do not have to follow a specific script to get things or to get to places, but it's not a sandbox. You have goals, you have objectives, and you have to. You're almost. I don't know. You've been at it longer than I. Would you classify this more as a corridor game?
It's got a linear progression to the story, but there's optional things to do on the side. But really, the mechanic is almost like a hub. Once you get to a certain point in the game, you've got kind of a hub to the station, because it's all in it's a space station, and you can kind of go one way or the other, from there, depending on what kind of clearances and things or hacking abilities you unlock and such like that. But I would say it's definitely more of a tight narrative than it is an open world, even though it does have that hub feature. And I'm perfectly okay with that, because I'm still kind of bummed out on the open world thing. There's one of the monsters. Anyway, like Zelda, for example. Zelda's a great game, but I'm struggling with the open world aspect. I just don't want to. Don't waste my time. Don't make me go everywhere. Don't. So this feels like a tighter, more narrative-driven experience, and that's part of the thing too. Is the whole atmosphere is, how you can't get that same kind of tense atmosphere in a sandbox, because, it's a sandbox.
So, people have said BioShock. People have said. I saw somebody in the chat also say Dead Space, which I can see.
Sure.
I'll give you
There's
one.
real strong callbacks to Half-Life in it.
You beat me to it. I was gonna say the one that nobody has mentioned that that I felt was Half-Life.
Yeah, the demo and the opening sequence is very much like Gordon's trip
Yes,
to the
the
test
tram
chamber.
in the tram. Yes, and I got the, but it's not just that. If you look at this aesthetic, if you look at the graphical style, very square, very I'm trying to think what the
You think of Deus Ex?
yeah, but Half-Life had this style to it as well, and so Half-Life is really what I kind of had more than BioShock. I think once somebody else said BioShock, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see it. So,
Yeah, the inventory management is actually pretty cool. It's kind of a streamlined deal. You can manage it really easy, and you go around collecting junk, and you can recycle that into materials, and then you can find blueprints and make that into upgrades or ammo or all that kind of stuff. The only complaint I would have about it so far is I might need to adjust the sensitivity on the stick. I always feel like I'm chasing the monsters with the aiming, and also they seem a little bit bullet spongy, or ammo's hard to come by, or whatever. But I'm trying to work around that by becoming a repairman and repairing turrets and things like that to try and. So there's options, I think, but yeah, so far so good, really.
yeah, yeah. Impressions, other gentlemen that haven't played it yet.
I mean, anything if it's like BioShock or Dead Space, I'm in. So
Yeah,
This one, I
anything.
think Dead
If
Space
it's
is
a
now
good,
backwards compatible,
if there's
by
a
the
good
way.
sale, yeah.
I would go full price on it. I just can't right now. By the way,
looks
this gun is
interesting, but
cool, but
I don't know.
hard as hell to get these.
I was like, what is this?
It's a
What's
glue
going
gun.
on?
It's a glue gun.
Yeah.
And basically,
Blue.
yeah, you can either try to encase your enemies in carbonite, or you could try to build walls to keep them from getting at you. So you can kind of block them off while you're doing something, or you can try to actually freeze them, and then you can attack them while they're encased in it.
Yeah, additionally, it can be used for environmental things like putting out fires or smothering, short-circuiting electronics. It can also be used to make things to climb on, to make pathways for yourself.
Nice.
It's got a lot of use. I haven't yet figured out how to construct the ammo, so that's another issue. But yeah, it's I use it more than the firearms. thus
Yeah, I
far.
can imagine so. One other thing that we weren't sure if they were going to fix from the demo, how are the load times? The loading
They're
times in the demos were horrible. That much I can tell you.
they're Recore-esque.
Recore before patch or Recore after patch?
Recore after patch, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It's long. It's real long. I'm surprised there's not more people talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, I noticed that right away.
I don't know. I was watching somebody play Sniper Elite 3, and the load times on that were horrible. I mean, I swear to God, 5-minute load times.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is probably, just hazarding a guess, it's probably getting to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say the demo was somewhere in that 2-minute range just to load. I mean, you just
Achievement.
yeah. So, but again, the game. I think the game is still extremely solid. So you
Just don't die.
right. So
Yeah, no, it's a big thumbs up for me. It's like if I just because I mentioned it, the top 5 would be like Halo 2, Resident Evil, For Honor, this, and something else that I can't think of right now.
Ghost
Mario Kart
Refund.
8.
Ghost Refund 3.
I refunded that game with a quickness.
With the quickness.
With prejudice.
Nice. So that came out this week, and thanks for Thanks for going over that with us.
Yep.
So let's move on to another game. This one Peter will be able to jump in on as well, and we'll give him the floor first since you had Prey. We'll give him this one, and the footage is his as we're talking about it. So
Yeah, Mario Kart 8. I mean, I already said quite a few things about it. Like the tracks are phenomenal. They're a lot of fun. I did not have the Wii U version, so this all is brand new. I had the Wii version, but I don't know how many Wii tracks there are really in. But yeah, they're a joy to play. There's also a battle mode that I tried it once and didn't quite know what I was doing. So there's not anything in this footage, but yeah,
So
it's
you
a lot
failed
of fun.
horribly
What's
in the
failing?
battle mode.
I think you have to pop balloons and stuff, and then it's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
how do I pop them? It's like,
I remember those. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that mode. That was fun. It's been around since I think the first Mario Kart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I never experienced that. So that was the
Like
first
if you were to
time.
throw that at somebody and they hit it, their balloon would pop.
Right.
game is
Yeah, I think
gorgeous.
what you got like 3 balloons to start or something.
Yeah, you'd have 3 or 4. Maybe it's 4 balloons. Don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's the game. The game looks good on the handheld as well as on the TV. I played it on the handheld itself, as well as I think it's a 27-inch monitor. I'm sitting pretty close to it, but it still looks really good.
That is
A lot of
beautiful.
fun. Oh, I
This is
played
just-
online too. I played a little bit against CrazyJuan when I just got it, I believe.
Yep.
And worked fine. Didn't
That was on the,
experience any lag or anything. So
That was
Pretty
in the
good.
short pause tournament.
I was gonna say, did you guys were playing with Brent and company, right?
They weren't in. It was just the two of
They
us in the
weren't
room
in,
with
but
AI,
yeah.
but
Gotcha.
it was their
yeah,
turn.
that's one thing about a tournament. It's like you have to have at least another person in it before it will start. But not everybody has to be in there. So it's like, why can't you just set a time? Well, I don't know how it works though. Maybe
Yeah,
it's how many wins you.
Well, there's a points system, and it's points, like you can set it up for daily or weekly when it ends. I think the one that I put up, which I don't think saw anyone come into it, the one that I put up was supposed to run through to the start of this show. So that should be done. I'm gonna look into it again and see if there's any better way to do it, because even there were 3 tournaments over the past week that I saw with the Super Deformed Gamecast, Short Pause Gamecast, and ours, and it was hard to ever find anybody for any of them. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest drawback, and I think it's just because of the early state of Nintendo's online service.
And I think I've seen some other complaints about that too. But that seems to be, when you're not ready, it's hard to launch an online game when your system's not ready.
Yeah.
I'll say this though: the play that I played in with some of the Super Deformed guys and in the Short Pause with HGK in their tournament, the play of it was really, really good netcode, really smooth. Didn't see a lot of ghosting or rubber banding or anything
That's
like
good.
that. It was really good.
Yeah, I'm curious what will happen when you have like 8 guys in it
Yeah,
and race.
Oh, that would be fun.
That will be fun.
I think we got up to 4 with when I was in the Super Deformed tournament.
Neat.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, and I think the game looks gorgeous. I think it's easily one of the prettiest kart racers in the Mario Kart series. I mean,
Looked good on the Wii U too.
yeah, no, it did, but I mean, did it look this good?
I don't know. I can't
couldn't
tell.
say.
It's not in front of me. I'm just seeing a YouTube video of
Well,
it.
that's very true. And to be fair, if you actually, so this particular gameplay footage, although sans commentary, that's cool, by the way, the glider.
Yeah.
If you go to our YouTube, you're on our YouTube page. If you go to our NLG Plays playlist, this video in its native form is there. and it is 60 frames per second as the game is. So I believe that we are running. Yeah, that video is 1080p 60. So if you want to see how really smooth this game is, it's not indicative of the footage we're seeing here because our podcast doesn't broadcast in 60 frames. It would crash. It would crash my entire computer every week. But if you go to our to our NLG plays playlist, you can see this in 60 and easily. Some people are saying this for them is better than Zelda as far as games for them, and it actually has already crossed the million mark. It is the fastest. I think it's one of their fastest selling games ever.
I think it was the fastest selling Mario Kart.
Of the Mario Kart series. It's their fastest one in the entire series.
In fairness, it's the next big title for the console, because honestly, outside of Zelda, there was a lot of smaller titles that were good, but this was the next big one, so there was the thirst.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's selling Switches again, because I did not, after Mario Kart released, I haven't seen any Switches in a while. So
I haven't personally looked for Switches lately, so
yeah, I haven't switched it on yet.
If I could find coworkers of mine that had this, I would set up, after work, everybody stays an hour, and we all line up on the Wi-Fi and do a handheld. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
For me, it's one of those top 5 of the games of the year so far again, and my favorite thing on the Switch.
Yeah, so far mine, it's I think my favorite as well.
And that's what a lot of other people are saying. I mean, no deference to Zelda, which of course is Zelda. It's,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it was. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, this is a game that once I get a Switch, this will probably be the one I get, just because this is my kind of game. Not that Zelda is not a great game, but
this is a good family fun game.
Yeah, and
it's easy to pick up too. You have 10 minutes, you just pick it up.
Play a
little
race
tournament. And be done.
The only complaint I have with it was not really with the game, but when we went to do split screen, my wife and I had put the snaps on the Joy-Cons with the straps. The L and R buttons are a little bit flaky through those on mine. And maybe, I don't know if that's just a my controller kind of thing, but particularly the one for using an item, the left shoulder was a bit finicky.
Right.
Oh, I had the same thing because I got those wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it in wheels, and so you pop the Joy-Con in here, and they're like the Joy-Con switches will be right here on the top. So when you push down the button at the back, there's a little, mechanical
descent. Yeah.
That looks like the Wii wheel.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
But look how beautiful.
But there's like a little bit of space in between. So it's like I had times when I thought I pushed it and nothing happened, and it's like, well, I didn't push it enough.
I mean, this game is just pretty. I mean, look at this. And this doesn't show. This doesn't. Like I said, please go look at this video that HTK made on the channel, because what you're seeing here does not give you the representation of what I watched, even while I was rendering the video. And I'm like, I usually like render the video and I walk away for a while but I was just watching the video while I was rendering it, just like, wow, this is unbelievable.
You know how I like to, one of the ways that I like to kind of...
Except he can't drive.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I like to kind of judge games is how well it does what it sets out to do. Because a lot of times when you're making in game, you're making apples and oranges comparisons. But when I look at, say, and I compare this to Zelda and it comes up favorably to me, it's because Zelda's great and it does what it does well, but it does have flaws, whereas this is almost perfect at what it does. Just like Forza Horizon 3, it does what it does just about flawlessly.
Yeah.
And that's important. So I could just watch that. I mean, I'm once I can afford a Switch, this will be the game I get with it.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe by that time they will have bundles.
Could be.
I can see them having bundles for the holidays, but maybe not though. Who knows?
See, I'm.
Nintendo does what Nintendo does.
Yep.
Yep.
I might have a Switch before I have it. I mean, it might happen. It might happen by September. We'll see. If everything goes to plan at my real life job, I may be able to get this when by the time I'm ready for this and Super Mario. What are they calling it?
Odyssey.
When's
Odyssey.
Mario
thank you.
Party 8 coming?
Yeah.
Or 9 or whatever? Is there
I think it'd
another
be
Mario?
10.
Okay. See, it tells you the last time I played it was Mario Party 8.
8 was
And
good.
then,
I've never played it.
but we'll have to
it's
Oh, they're
synchronize
the
our
best.
lunch
You
break.
have to play Mario Party games.
Nope.
All that crashing and he's still in first place.
Yeah.
That's how
Must be on
good I
easy
am.
mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how easy mode is.
Yeah, it's probably the 50cc.
Yeah,
class.
probably. So yeah, this is a great title, and this is why I wanted to go over it this week since we missed it last week because people are.
Yeah. There's another gripe that I have is you cannot reassign the buttons
Oh.
because you have to hold the A button on the Joy-Con instead of like a trigger for acceleration, and
Right.
which I don't know. After a while, your thumb gets a little sore.
Good old Nintendo thumb.
Yeah.
My right thumb, it doesn't always close. Like this joint doesn't. Sometimes that's tight.
Okay.
Just too many years of Nintendo
Just
thumb.
picturing that.
Nintendo thumb.
hurts.
It's like
Yeah,
Nintendo,
it's
Nintendo
Nintendo
elbow, Nintendo thumb, too much
It's
right.
kinda
Nintendo-nitis.
Right, Nintendoitis. Too much
Somebody
right.
take his
Too much
license
right trigger.
away. You've
Yeah.
lost your
ACK.
license.
ACK. You know you can drive on the road, right?
Oh, I thought I have those wings. No,
Not
I
only.
saw wings.
Yeah, not the whole time there.
Oh,
So, look, it's hover. They're hover cars like Mansburn.
and then you can also go underwater, and then he has a little propeller behind him.
And now
It's cute.
somebody take his license away.
Yeah.
So just for and again, just for the sake of it, they sold on launch day alone more than 459,000 packaged and digital sales combined. It is the fastest selling game in the long-running Mario Kart series. The previous record holder for highest first-day sales in the franchise was Mario Kart Wii, not Wii U, but the original Wii, with 436.9 when it launched in 2008. The sales numbers equate to an attach rate of 45%, meaning nearly 1 in 2 Switch owners in the U.S. bought a
Nice.
copy of Mario Kart 8 on the first
Nice.
day. So,
It also means that the other 1 and 2 are wrong.
right,
Yeah.
those are the ones that bought Bomberman and 1-2 Switch.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I had mine pre-ordered for the longest time. So
nice. All right, let's move on. So, I don't know why, and maybe we won't last too terribly long on it ourselves, but you guys are aware that Call of Duty did have its reveal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who
yeah,
I'm not, because judging by the internet, nobody's talking about it at all. And this one's Sledgehammer, which I thought was now the darlings of the Call of Duty series, even more so than Treyarch and Infinity Ward. But
Yeah. I agree
Huh?
with that. I was just saying I agree with that. I enjoyed Advanced Warfare more than I enjoyed Black Ops 3.
well, and Infinity Ward was Infinite Warfare, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't like that. Multiplayer on that one, I was just, no.
Yeah, I didn't care for the multiplayer on Infinite Warfare.
I liked every single campaign. The reason I liked the Black Ops 3 campaign a lot was because it had 4-player co-op.
those games are fun in the first 2 weeks when it comes out because everybody starts fresh, and then when you play it later on, only the diehards are still playing. that's that's the only game they play, so it's like they have a huge advantage.
And then you get your ass kicked.
Yeah,
You just don't want to play
over
anymore.
in a matter of minutes.
Well,
It's like
see, I felt like I had a fighting chance when it was normal, but when I'm running and jumping off of walls, I can't do all of it at once. Just
yeah.
Right. All right. Well,
So this is second World War, the European theater, which is my preference.
If someone jumps off
So,
the wall in this one, then we're all in trouble. So
yeah,
yeah. If there's jetpacks in this, it's only because like Wolfenstein, the Nazis have advanced technology.
you're probably right. I mean, there is, I think later, I don't know, the zombie mode that have not talked about yet.
No.
yeah. I
but
don't think this game is visiting the Netherlands, which is a little bummer, but
Yeah,
Belgium is a
they're not
good
going to
second
Motherland.
choice.
Oh, come on,
not-
Frankie. This one actually looks good.
Yeah,
It's not pretty.
No, it's definitely pretty. And the footage from the trailer, of course, is PS Pro, and I'm assuming it'll be Scorpio as well, footage wise. But they haven't really talked much about standard PS4 and Xbox One. But what they have said, there are some things that even in the last week, Sledgehammer has talked about in the multiplayer and stuff like that, and with with the radar, with the range of weaponry, and going back to the whole boots on the ground thing, and it's a campaign that hopefully is as good as the older campaigns were, and to me as good as what I thought Battlefield 1's campaign was from EA. I thought that was a really great set of stories, and if this is more like a Brothers in Arms type game story-wise, I'll be happy.
I think it is. At least that's what they've been saying.
yeah.
So
No regen in health either, too.
Yeah.
In the campaign.
no regen health. The weaponry that they're going with, they are they're pulling classic weapons. The SMG-44, the Garand, the rifles, the grease gun. I think is also back, and but they're going to introduce some shotguns and LMGs as well. So that's what they've been talking about, and they want to do for multiplayer. They want to get a little more back to getting a little more realistic with the map designs and the theater itself. So it'll November 3rd is launch date, and the trailer looked good for what that was doing.
They always get great actors too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have the audio up, but yeah, some of that was.
Mr. Fergie is the main guy, I think.
I think so. So, coming out PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Of course, there is a beta for pre-orders. As you see, because access to the, and then they'll have an open beta, which is your demo.
Yeah.
And there will be a Nazi zombie story and things like that. Missions will be, I think they're definitely doing the D-Day launch, and the Battle of the Bulge. So, those are big, iconic battles.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see, them going back to those. And it's sort of like you're going to be like an inexperienced private. His name is Private Daniels, I think. And there's also a part of the campaign with a female in the French Resistance, and then there's a whole bunch of other characters you're going to find and play in the campaign. So there's they want it to be a huge game. And by the way, you were talking about actors. I think are you talking about Josh Duhamel?
Yep, Mr. Fergie. That's what I call him.
All right, from Transformers, of course. And they're going to at E3 they're going to do a multiplayer reveal, and the only thing we know about the Nazi zombie campaign is a couple of people have teased like a campaign co-op for that. I'd love to have co-op for the main campaign.
Yes, that's why I love Black Ops 3. Loved playing with people.
So.
And we forgot one big thing too.
What?
What does everyone think of like the Destiny space? Like, in between matches you get like the big huge playground type thing, like
Yeah, headquarters is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Well,
That sounds interesting, but
if it doesn't lead to more cumbersome, actually doing things, because it's not like it's really going to be a Destiny type game. So the idea of having to, like in Destiny, you run here to talk to this person about a ship, and then you run over here to find wherever Xur's hiding his dumbass, and then you run back to your, like I don't want to do that in Call of Duty.
I don't think it's going to be that, but I guess it could be wrong.
Because the previous Call of Duties, when I was interested in the series, it was well streamlined to change your loadouts, change your mods on the weapons, whatever. They should retain that for sure.
Well, and they're going to do divisions and stuff this time, so you're going to get kind of a split in infantry versus cavalry, and you'll get perks and things like that go along with it. So they're trying to do they're trying to go the battlefield route that way too. In Battlefield 1, you could be you can either be a scout, or you can be a sniper, you can be an assault, so they're trying to pull that into Call of Duty as well. And then they've got a big giant war mode, which reminds me a whole lot like of Big Team Battle in Halo.
Mm-hmm.
So acts as an allied, team-based skirmishes, gaining objectives. Not so much Big Team Battle, the war zone in Halo.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's, it could be good, minus the horde part. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit of, let's say, that meets the Battlefield 1 style, or the Star Wars Battlefront style, where you're two teams and there's not a lot. I don't think it's going to be like you versus AI, which would be what Warzone is, but you're going to go after objectives and stuff like that. So they're shooting for this to be a huge game, above and beyond what the last few Call of Duties were. Can they deliver on that? That's the question. And can the campaign be as good as Call of Duty used to be? Because without that, I'm not interested.
That I agree with.
I'm a single player guy. I'd rather play the campaign. World at War was still one of my favorite campaigns. Without that, I don't know how interested I am in it.
I did like
Warfare campaign was really good.
Yeah,
it's been up there. Like for me, like in the last few years, probably the best in last 5 years or something. So it's worth a playthrough.
It's a big game, Frankie.
Why? Because it's actually coming out, whether you like it or not.
Frankie only likes one game.
Right.
Battleborn.
Yeah. And Prey. We already covered Prey, Anchor.
He prays about Battleborn.
So,
yeah.
If everyone's
it's
left
$5,
in chat,
by the
why
way.
are you still in there? So, we'll get more information at E3 and go from there.
Probably the PlayStation, right? PlayStation conference.
Yes, it's pretty. Yeah, you're not going to see this at the. You'll see like 2 seconds of snippet footage in a reel, a sizzle reel, if you see it at the Xbox conference. Otherwise, this is all over because Activision's not doing their own conference, so this will be all over the PlayStation con. They're going to dedicate 45 minutes of their 90-minute.
Well, I'm looking forward to the orchestra. So.
Well, we're going to see it live because we're going to be here for that. So
everybody, get your shocked faces ready.
Yep.
So show them live.
By the way, not only are we doing the live show Sunday, the 11th, for the Microsoft press conference. We will do one Monday night since it starts at 9, I think. I think it starts at 9 our time. And so we will do a live reaction show as well for the Sony. We'll be showing it on the big screen, or our big screen, and then you can come chat with us and talk to us as we either cheer or mock both conferences. We'd love to do one for Nintendo, but they're not doing one again. So
we got to do EA again. We had a few laughs during that.
Because reasons.
we might have to. We'll have to see. That's going to be a long day for all of us. So whether or not we want to sit here and live react the entire Sunday and Monday conferences, I don't know. But we'll see. But right now we're slated to do the Microsoft and the Sony conference. Those are the two of the big three. I'm counting the third big three as Bethesda because those guys. Let's be honest. As far as conferences go, they've stepped into that role quite nicely. Pete Hines, him and his team have put together some damn fine press conferences. To be quite honest with you, so.
Wasn't it last year that he tweeted you during the conference?
Yes, and so I said something
awesome.
about that. I said he was talking about getting people getting people into that conference, and I said no, my role will be sitting here and tweeting you so that you can yell at me while you're between trailers. And he tweeted me back and he said, "Know your role." So, yeah,
awesome.
he's a great guy. One of these days, Peter, you and I are going to have to converge on ZeniMax since we're like right in the middle of he's like right in the middle of both of us. So we're gonna we got to go see him. So I'll have to see if I can set that up. So,
that would be cool.
That would be. And so you guys did see, I did not get a chance to grab it because we were expecting a guest tonight that I can't get a hold of, but I wanted to grab...
Go knock at his door.
Yeah.
Get on the podcast.
You know what? Hang on, because I'm grabbing it. One of the nice things about having multi-monitors while we're doing this podcast is I can grab...
Yeah, I got two as well. I was watching the hockey game on one, and I had you guys on the other, and the chat on the other. So I was kind of switching back and forth.
Well,
it works nice.
I can be fast on the draw. So there is the E3 showcase picture that they've been showing, and there is an under construction here, and an under construction here, and so it looks like we're going to get two reveals. So one of them is Wolfenstein. I think we have determined one of them is another Wolfenstein, right?
Yeah. That seems
well, because remember last E3 when they were showing the Quake boot up and they had so they teased it. It's this one. What is going here?
The top one or the bottom one?
The bottom right. Sorry, you can't see.
Bottom right.
Bottom right. I mean, could that be another... Well, you know what, though? Where in this picture is Darksiders 3? Because that's been announced.
I don't know. None of them really look like Darksiders to me.
No. So what would that be? So if we got Wolfenstein, could it be the next Elder Scrolls?
Maybe.
Darksiders isn't Bethesda. Jesus, what am I talking about? I'm so screwed up. What if I was oh, not Darksider. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Dishonored. Sorry.
There it is.
Yeah. But we wouldn't get another Dishonored. Not this. I mean, because I don't think
probably nothing major.
I don't think Dishonored 2. Well, I don't think
maybe
Dishonored
DLC
2 did that well. So, by the way, with Darksiders, I just want to say it's nice to see THQ back even if they're not in their original form. I know they are, and Frankie's like typing it as I'm talking. Nordic Games THQ. Here's to hoping that more of the old THQ stuff comes forward. So, yeah, I know it's not THQ, but Nordic THQ could be, somewhat the same if they could bring some of their old IP. I don't know how much of their old IP they still own.
They're not awful.
They're not awful. Red Faction, MX versus ATV. Shush.
He thinks Call of Duty's awful.
Well,
I don't
that's
believe
true. They can.
Just tell Anchorman it's Candyland. Get this argument
he's saying
over
it's
with. Keep saying
Starfield.
Starfield. And
Fastback says it's the
Candyland.
Bethesda
What is
Smash
Starfield?
Brothers.
I don't know what Starfield is.
Just remember, before 2K, THQ had the WWE license.
Yep, that's
And
true.
those
I
were good
remember
games,
having
too.
a couple of those games.
Those were good games too. Saints Row,
Mm-hmm.
Company of Heroes. I mean, come on, don't get me. Oh, okay. He's saying Nordic Games is awful. Well, if Nordic Games can come up with good games with the THQ licensing, that'd be a whole different thing. Because it wasn't the Darksiders 2 crew from the original crew. I thought
think so.
that they were original devs, so you really can't blame that on Nordic. But anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get into a THQ retrospective. Dishonored. So we're not getting another Dishonored, I don't think, quite yet. Where is Quake Champions in this? That's got to be way upper right? Because Quake Champions should be coming out this year, so they're probably going to show that. I don't know. This will be fun. It's going to be a great conference.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You
I'm so excited for E3. It's not that far away.
It
Come
really
on,
isn't.
get hyped.
Really isn't.
It
It's
isn't.
38, 37 days, something like
I
that.
thought I'd seen like 34 days.
Yeah,
usually.
Microsoft's
34?
mission to
Maybe
get
10
Mike
plus.
to buy a Scorpio.
Let's see.
What?
I said that's what Microsoft's mission is, to change your mind about the Scorpio.
I've been saving money. I said I'm not buying any games. I'm putting money aside for Scorpio just in case. And then if it's
just
not,
in case of what?
Just in case I want to get it,
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
So if it's not as good as what I'm hoping it's going to be, then I'll just buy games with the money I'm setting aside.
All right. I can buy that. I can buy that.
So they got to sell me. E3 is when they got to sell me on.
All right. No, I buy that. So, all right. So we sidetracked a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little, but we kind of got on Blizzard a little bit. I wanted to kind of move to a couple of other quick things, and then we'll get to Juan's retro. One of the things that I wanted to talk about last week in a general sense, and then I'm going to move this towards our Phil Spencer thing, which I do want to talk about because there's there's some things that have kind of solidified his comments. And okay, Annihilator, don't lose hope. I haven't lost total hope yet because every time I do, Peter drags me back. I am still concerned, but I still have my Xbox. See, if I could just sidebar for a second. Explain to me the whole. I like console X. This is my flavor of the month, so I'm selling my other console thing.
It's just attention-seeking behavior.
Okay, all right, just
That's all it
checking.
is.
Because I mean, you guys know I have spent the last 2 months on my PlayStation playing Gravity Rush, playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and phenomenal games. There hasn't been much on the Xbox One that's pulled me over, except for Ghost Recon. But even at that, being a single-player guy, Horizon and Gravity Rush have sort of pulled me that way. Nowhere in my nowhere in my thought process was I looking at my Xbox and going, "Well, I'm not playing my Xbox. I'm just going to sell it." I don't understand. I don't
And you're
get
not tweeting
Yeah.
it out to all
Yeah,
of, the
I don't
head
get
of
that.
Xbox going, "Hey Phil, hey Aaron, hey Xbox, I'm gonna sell it because you got nothing."
Yeah, I don't get that. Am I a little downturned on them right now as far as what they're producing? Yes. Everybody knows that. No, everybody knows I'm concerned about the direction they're headed in. That's not a secret. But that's not cause for me to sell my Xbox and just I don't get it. That's the one that I don't get. I can get if you don't play it for a while, and until the next big PlayStation game comes along, I'm probably going to be on the Xbox for a while because I've got backlog games that I've got to deal with. But I don't. I just that one I hadn't figured out. I don't get that, and I don't get the point. You've spent the money. I don't. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You know. And I get it.
And
I
even
get
when they do have games, first party games, they don't buy those.
right.
It's like, oh yeah, not those games. Well, what
Right.
other
Not
games?
those
Yeah, I don't
games.
know.
Right. So
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong. You guys have heard me talk about it. I get Scalebound and I get all that. Everybody knows that that stuff has bothered me. We've had this discussion over and over. I want to rehash it, but Um, you know, I'm not of that. I'm not. I go where the games are, and so if I want to play my PlayStation because the games are there right now, I go play that. When the Xbox has the games that I want to play, I move over to that. I move over back. I move back and forth. It's not a. It's just. It's not a I don't know. It's
And the nice thing is too, if you get a friend that picks up, let's say, Ghost Recon, we'll use that as an example. On Xbox, and you're interested in it, you pick it up on the Xbox because one, you want to play with your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't just want to go, oh, well, I'm going to get it on the PlayStation because reasons, and then be by yourself.
Well, and that's why I got Watch Dogs 2 on the Xbox because Peter and I did some co-op on that, and it reminds me it's in my backlog.
Damn backlogs.
Yeah,
You still need to finish that up
Play
too.
Doom before you do that.
He's never playing that.
I will
game.
never. It's either that or I'll never get back to Ghost Recon.
Now,
So
Michael played Doom, and it's retro Doom.
Yeah, when it's retro.
It's like 15 years from now, and Michael
He's
played
playing
it.
Doom 2015, and when Doom 2025 comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
right. So, anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sidebar. I just that one that one I just don't understand, and I'll never understand it. I get if the PlayStation's your primary platform, fantastic. If the Xbox is your primary platform, fantastic. If the Switch is, also fantastic. But the whole, well, I'm just gonna sell this one because this is my flavor of the quarter, and then change my Twitter handle. No, I don't get that. I don't
Yeah.
get that. So, anyway, I had these for last week. The gaming industry right now is actually doing pretty decent. We just talked about the Nintendo stuff with. We know how well Zelda. We know how well Mario Kart has sold. We know there are close to 3 million Nintendo Switches out there in the world right now, which is damn impressive. And I don't want to dwell too much on individual numbers and things, but I did pull. This was one of those. We're in financial quarter time, so everybody is putting out their financials. We've had EA, we've had Microsoft, we've had Sony, we've had Nintendo, and Activision's was this week. And there's a reason I want to do Activision's last. But I just want to kind of glaze over these a little bit because I think it is important as we head into E3 and as we head into the fall to understand that everybody in their own right, in their own box, is actually doing pretty well this quarter, or for the fiscal year, for their own fiscal years. And if we can more concentrate on how well the companies are doing and how well things are going, might stem some of the bullshit that we have to see as well. So, for example, and I'll bring up Microsoft first. Just going to glaze on it a little bit. Microsoft's gaming revenue is up 4% by growth in Xbox Live. Their Xbox Live subscriptions are up from last year. There's for a system that this is the part that I think kind of counteracts there are no games out right now except for Halo Wars 2. Well, that's all fine and dandy. That's
false, first of all.
Well, from Microsoft, Halo Wars 2 is the only one out right now from them that's new. But
from them, but there's a lot of indies and a lot of...
There are. And one of the things that so when somebody brought this up as, well, how could this number be? Software and services revenue is up 7%. By continued adoption of digital distribution and a strong game lineup. And somebody said, what do you mean strong game lineup? Well, people tend to think, and this happens, this is Nintendo, this is Sony, this is Microsoft, this is Activision, this is every publisher of games, every manufacturer, every whatever. Just because Halo Wars 2 is the only Microsoft Game Studios game that is out right now does not mean that people aren't buying the back catalog stuff as well. So, there is a good possibility with the Hot Wheels, for example, the Hot Wheels expansion pack is coming out in 2 days. There are people like our good friend and kind of an NLG alumni, Matt J, who just bought Forza Horizon 3. Well, guess what? That counts. That counts in software sales. There are people that are just now getting their Xbox Live subscriptions because maybe they bought a console in December, and so all of a sudden there's another service. People are still buying rec packs for Halo. People are still buying things for Gears. People are still buying older games. So, software and sales revenue growing doesn't necessarily mean that, well, it's, how could that be? How could that be when Halo Wars 2 is the only Microsoft game that came out? That was kind of where I was headed with that. So the monthly active users are up 13%. That's excellent. It's not, they're not selling millions upon millions of consoles, but if in their grand scheme of things, their revenue is up, and that is really what they want. So, you have that. Sony is in the same position, and in their financials, they really didn't even talk much about. Their individual sales. They're up 6.5%. It's almost 6.5% too, because their software sales are up, their hardware sales are up, and they're expecting to have a slightly lower but still really good year going into the next fiscal year. So, Sony also doing very well. They've had a couple of great titles. Horizon Zero Dawn is selling extremely well, and they've got his Gravity Rush might have kind of given them the bottom line, but they've got great stuff going on there. Nintendo's the same way. So Nintendo, we talked about it with Mario Kart, but they've shipped almost 3 billion Switches through the end of March. For a console that, coming off the Wii U, that's a damn strong rebound. I mean, that's really great. So, and who knows? As Peter said, you can't even find one now that Mario Kart's out. So, their holiday season, Nintendo's holiday season, could be unbelievably killer. I mean, think about it.
Well, when you talk about a rebound from the Wii U, I mean, that's one of the reasons I have one. Is because I hadn't had a Nintendo system since the Wii, and I had a thirst for Mario Kart, for Zelda, for whatever else they're going to bring me, like Odyssey. So it plays into the rebound itself. I mean, it's remarkable that it is so big, but it happened because of the Wii U.
Well, yeah, I can agree with that. But it's also of you who have the Switch, you love it, right?
The only thing wrong with it is I can't play everything on it.
Right.
Actually, everyone I know that has a Switch loves it. So
Yeah.
I think it's an okay console.
When's Marvel Talk? Marvel Talk is when you come back on the program. So anyway,
I got the beta or whatever for that.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I guess I'll show you this since we're talking about Nintendo. I don't know who is interested. I find it really interesting that there is a new 2DS that they announced, the 2DS XL. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can.
And this one flips too. You can close it.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Call of Duty on the Nintendo DS?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Did I? Sorry. Yeah, and it's got this
That's
little.
okay. Get the rumors started right
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
Yeah.
Right
So-
here.
It's like they dropped the 3D. I mean, my kids still love theirs, but I don't know anything they play in 3D. Honestly.
I
Yeah,
know
my kids are the same way. Nothing in 3D, but yeah, even when I played it, I never once switched it to 3D mode.
And then there's a little like knob up above the X. Another little stick.
Oh yeah, that's with the new 3DS, isn't that? It's on there.
Yeah. so
It's
they
I
blended
can't remember. It's a little joystick or something. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Nintendo, they're doing well enough to bring out another handheld, right?
Well, they
So-
got like a new 3DS, 2DS, like every year or something. It's almost
Yeah.
like a cell phone. Oh, hey, guess what? We got another model.
Yeah.
It's 1% faster than the last. We added an extra button, so you have to buy it with all these new games now.
All right. So I'm going to bring up one more, and the reason I want to bring them up is I do have a reason for it. And
No.
yes,
No
yes.
reason.
What do you mean? Why? Of course I have a reason. I always have a
No.
reason. I am
You have
full
a
of reasons.
reason?
I am full of reasons.
Wait, he has a reason he didn't play Doom yet?
Yes, because Wolfenstein. Damn it! Stop picking on me.
Even though he promised us, oh yeah, my next game is Doom. It's Doom.
it is
I'm
Doom-
going to load it up.
It is
Hey guys,
Doom-like.
I'm playing
It is
Wolfenstein.
Doom-like.
It
is-
I
it
will
is
give
Doom.
you that. Yeah.
It is Doom-like. It may as well be Doom. Look, let me make this clear. Without Wolfenstein, there is no Doom. Just remember that.
You have a great point. They do
Remember
throw
that.
back to Doom in that game.
Doom just does it better.
Yes, they do have. There are a couple little throwbacks to Doom, and I love the fact that, like the New Order, you can find the Wolfenstein 3D levels and Bethesda. Like Pete, I'm looking at look right here. Look, do me a favor. Can you please remaster Wolfenstein 3D and just make the whole game, please? Please?
No.
Just you
I
can
answer
do it with
for
the
it.
weapons. Do it like this in 60 frames with the whole leaning and the cool guns and all that stuff. But for the love of goodness, can you please remaster this for the PS4, Xbox One, PC? Please, please. Okay, that's my all right. So anyway, so the last financials that just came out on the 4th are Activision's, and the reason I want to bring this up is because I want to segue this into as has been requested for us to talk about Phil Spencer's comments. So, just as a reminder for those who are living under a rock or hopefully think Twitter's as much of a dumpster fire as I do, Phil had an interview a couple weeks ago where he basically said that single-player games such as Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda don't have the same impact anymore as games as a service. And Frankie, we see you. We will get to the retro rec in a few minutes. You are not in charge. The the internet went nuts over this and decided that this was Phil Spencer saying that Microsoft wasn't going to make any more first-party single-player games. Seriously. In fact, Forbes, which I don't know why they write for video games, or write
They're my
anything about
go-to.
video games, Forbes actually said they imply that's what he implied. So the internet has gone into this hysteria of, well, Phil doesn't want to make single-player games anymore. So, of course, Phil had to come out on Twitter and clarify that.
It's a daily thing. He says one thing, everybody else says it's something else, and he's got to clarify what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's annoying, but I'm pretty sure he's tired of doing it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this is what's wrong. This is why Twitter's a dumpster fire, because this is where this stuff comes from, and nobody, and to me, games journalism is a similar dumpster fire. So
it's like tabloids now, pretty much.
And Enrique, if you read the very first sentence, I had this conversation with one other person. If you read the very first sentence of that Forbes article, they use the words "Phil implies." I mean, I have a tweet of it somewhere, but that's neither here nor there. The thing about it is, what he was saying is that those games don't have the lasting effect of games that have microtransactions, these multiplayer games and things like that. The whole multiplayer only thing has kind of taken over, and it continues to show me how I've aged out of gaming a little bit. But what he was saying was, those games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda, they're great out of the gate, and Zelda's great out of the gate. Horizon Zero Dawn's out of the gate. But where are the legs on those? Other than DLC, where are the big sales? Where's the big money making for those games? So it would have been best if he had said this after the 4th, after Activision announced their financials. So this is the reason that I want to go through these. I want you to look at this very carefully. Let me find.
Can you read it to me?
Yeah, I'm
That's
looking
what I'm
for
saying.
it. I'm looking
My
for it.
face is up to the screen.
There was some Overwatch news in here. Overwatch has 30 million players. 30 million. Now that's among
quite a
three
bit.
of them are in my
that's
house.
among PS4, Xbox One, PC. They make so much money.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. They make so much money, Blizzard, on Overwatch. Not just from the initial sales. Here it is, yeah. Blizzard's fastest growing new franchise, reaching over 30 million players globally less than a year after launch. Overwatch is now the 8th billion dollar franchise in Activision's Blizzard portfolio. $1 billion franchise, and it's the only game. It's the only game in the Overwatch umbrella. There's no Overwatch 2. There's no Overwatch 3. There's no Overwatch 4.
It's called the sheeple effect, Mike. It's just what's popular.
But it's called microtransactions.
No,
I've
that
never
too.
played it.
It's called people buying these loot boxes.
Well, it's Skinner boxes is what it is.
Whatever. Right. But that's just it. They're making money hand over fist on this.
You
And
watch
that is-
I hear
Twitch
Twitch
for like 10 minutes, like you watch an Overwatch stream, you'll see people drop hundreds of dollars on loot boxes without even blinking.
Yeah.
And to me, it's crazy. I'd never do it myself.
No. I'm
No,
saving
me
my
neither.
money for the next game, the next big thing. And
I'll play Paladins first. It's free and maybe
Yes.
better.
Yeah, but
I like
Paladins
it
is going to
now.
have the same thing. How much? I mean, high res isn't. That's where high res is going to make their money.
Sure,
So
but I don't have to pay my way in to pay high res.
Yeah. And I think they had a good deal too. It was only like $20 if you played the beta. So and you get a lot of stuff for that.
Wait, isn't there like a starter pack or something where you unlock everything? Or
Yeah, usually they call it like a founders something, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
I wouldn't pay them because that type of game doesn't do anything for me. And I've done the paid microtransaction games. Mostly did it on PC. Like I played the other one, High Rise, Tribes Ascend, which was a fairly
I remember
decent,
Tribes.
facsimile of Tribes. I put more money in that than I intended to because of the way it was. It happens. The Battlestar Galactica Online was a gigantic money sink. I got out before I spent too much on that, but yeah, I mean that's where all the money for stuff's coming. But
yeah, my only money sink has been World of Warcraft, and I was going to say to you earlier, you know how you're saying about the drop rates of whatever you were trying to get. I
Right.
tried to get like some, it was like an enchant or whatever. Only like one type of guy dropped it. So I spent literally days upon days farming the same, like, I don't know, I think there's 6 that spawned within a certain area. And finally it dropped, and I was like, oh my God.
oh yeah,
And the drop rate was something like, I don't know, less than 10%. And I killed hundreds of those guys for that one thing. It's
Damn.
pain.
Damn it, Leroy.
Damn it, Lee. Actually, I was a paladin too, so that makes it even funnier.
So, anyways, that's, and the other piece to it was that he was also talking about kind of games as a service and where it sits. He brought up Netflix and stuff like that, and he was talking about what games would and wouldn't fit into things like the Xbox Game Pass. So, to him, Xbox Game Pass would be great for smaller devs to do episodic titles and things like that. And so now that remains to be seen. We don't know what we don't know what that is going to look like. We don't know. We got those of us in the preview program got a taste of Xbox Game Pass, but I so far the games that were in there, I think I mostly had. So that's going to get fleshed out, but so it got people to start saying Microsoft was going to ditch, as Enrique is saying, ditch AAA first party content, and he is saying no. Now E3 is E3 is going to be the proof in the pudding of that. So if we get to E3, and stay with us, folks, because we're going to be talking about it as that conference happens. And if Peter knows, if I don't see goodness coming out of the E3 conference, he knows I will be right on that bandwagon of sticking the knife in. He's
Grab
got
your
to know.
pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
You have to believe or hope that Sea of Thieves isn't the gist of what they're doing. I don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming. That's the thing. That is the concerning part, and that is, I think even Nathan has said it before, and Jason, you've said it before. The radio silence is not
necessary.
helping.
Necessary is what it is.
It may be necessary, but it is not necessarily the right thing at this point.
That's what has to happen.
Well,
You
the thing
can't be
is they-
talking about things that are they can't make words without any kind of backing anymore. They can't. They've They've used up all their credibility on things like we still don't have Below, we lost Fable Legends, we lost Scalebound, we're still waiting on Cuphead, and Cuphead's coming. Cuphead's gonna be fantastic, but it's just necessary that they shut the hell up about what's coming until they can actually give us something. And all the nonsense about, well, they must not have anything coming because they're not talking about it all the time, and so it's the gaming news cycle now has gamers think that if they have to have something new each day, they have to have something new each week. Well, if I didn't get something new, then something's got to be wrong. It's all nonsense. It's they have to play it close to the vest until they can really show us something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference, but they, from a good year ago where, games 4 years out were announced, and had some gameplay versus, they want to cut back on that. And, so right now it seems like, hey, there's no news. But I mean, once again, E3, they better show us something.
Yeah, they got to show us something for sure. But this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for E3. But like I said, it's a credibility thing. They lost a lot of credibility with Scalebound and Fable Legends, and this is the only way to get it back is to bring the games, not talking about it. So more talking would help.
And
games with release dates.
Yep. Don't we think that Sony canceled some big games that they were working on? They just didn't announce it like Microsoft did. They might have had Scalebounds that we had no idea they had, and that can't.
Yeah, but
not that Sony does talk about things that are a long ways off, though. I mean, we still. What do we know about? Say, oh God, what the hell was
There's that one Detroit game or something. What was it called? It was like
Detroit.
A choice.
It was called.
Was it Detroit?
What's going on?
Yeah, that game looked interesting, but who knows where that's at in production?
Yeah, but at least, and I didn't mean to get this into this conversation, but at least they follow through on it. It's like we laugh about The Last Guardian, but the game at least came out. It finished. Whether or not it sold well, whether or not it scored
sold
well.
At least one copy. It's on my shelf.
Yeah.
So whether
nobody
or not
talks about it anymore,
right? But no matter what, at least the game came out. God of War may come out this year, although the voice actor said 2018 was when it was scheduled. But it'll be there.
But also, the companies are they have different mindsets.
They do.
The investors have a different mindset.
They do, and part of it too is Microsoft has decided to try to leverage the other things they have that Sony does not have, like an operating system on the PC market and a store there and such. And because of that, they quote unquote give up exclusivity because anyone who has a PC can play every game on Microsoft or blah 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 whatever. It's not true. The store is not used by a ton of people. It's not favored. It's Steam still has that mind grip on PC gamers.
Look, Halo Wars remastered or Halo Wars 2. Isn't that dropping on Steam now?
Well, no, it wasn't 2. It was Halo Wars Definitive Edition.
Dropping on Steam.
Right.
Yeah. I don't buy into that argument. You know that. I don't. When you get into what's exclusive and what's not, and what's this and what's that's really not what I was considering.
Well, where I was going with it is, I think Microsoft needs to adjust their tack on that. I don't care that someone can play stuff on another computer or whatever. I don't value exclusivity the same way many gamers do. I get no benefit from exclusivity. A lot of people act like they do until you ask them, how does this benefit you? And then they don't really have an answer. But the problem is that they believe that the exclusivity is important to them, not to Microsoft, not to Sony, but to them. And so Microsoft has to address that.
When you are the extension of it's a console war thing. That's not necessarily a normal gaming thing. Like it's exclusivity is important to the platform holder. Absolutely. If it wasn't, there wouldn't be people with multiple consoles. There's a reason that I have both consoles. It's because
problem is don't think that the exclusivity thing is just a console warrior thing, though. I think that that's actually still strong with the casual market, or the people who don't talk about games or go to Twitter to talk about games or look at game sites even. I think it's just ingrained in the market because that's how it's been forever. That's how it's been for, like you bought your Super Nintendo because you got Mario. You bought your, this because you got that, Microsoft, I think, was trying to break out of that, to get above and beyond the exclusivity bit, but I don't think the market is ready for it. I think.
Well, the problem is that they don't have enough to get there, and that's what I think part of the discussion of what are they going to show at E3. I honestly don't care if every game they show at E3 that is their game says Windows 10 and PC and Xbox One. I
don't either personally.
And the amount of people that crossover, I'm sorry, that crossover outside of Twitter, outside of our Twitter friends, has got to be less than 10%. There cannot be more than 10% of PC gamers that have to own a console. They play on PC because they play on PC. They get 99%, and maybe some of them will get, those are the people that it doesn't matter to Microsoft if they buy the game on PC, if they buy the game on Xbox, they're getting the money for the game, and that's
it was in the same pocket.
Right, it goes in the same pocket. Where with they have to buy a PS4 if they want to play Uncharted, unless they go with the PS Now subscription, but that's the only way that Sony gets the PC gamers money. Microsoft gets the PC gamers money in either way whatever way they want. They don't care. I said at the beginning I thought this was a good thing because it opens them up to sell more copies of the same game, which gives them more revenue, which lets them go back and make more games.
You're preaching to converted. So, I know all of this, but it doesn't translate to people who don't think about this stuff. It doesn't. I don't think that is penetrating the market. I think the market is not. It's as unready as the market was in 2013 for the Xbox digital plans, and they spooked the cattle and paid the price for it. The market is not ready to embrace non-exclusivity.
But I don't
it's just
think
not.
I know.
And so they need to address that. There's going to have to be at E3. I think there's going to have to be some exclusive titles that you just can't get anywhere but on an Xbox. They have to do it.
I'm just not sure the market is big enough that matters. I guess that's what I'm saying, is that you're right. I mean, the market may not be ready for it, but I don't think that market is that big. But everybody is the chat's sort of scrolling a bit, but everybody's sort of making some very good points about where Microsoft and Sony are as companies. One is a business model, and the other is more of an artistic model, and that's just the reality. It's how it is. But one thing Annihilator is saying is they get less money because PC gamers don't need to buy the console. I would say that console sales is not where they are with revenue right now. Their revenue is, we saw it in the picture I put up. Their game revenue is up 7%. That's where they want to be. So they would rather sell 500,000 copies of a game on both Xbox and PC than 100,000 on the Xbox, and maybe 50,000 people buy an Xbox for it. So they're going to make more money selling on both PC and Xbox than they are just trying to get people to buy Xboxes. It's just the crossover just isn't big enough to make that kind of a dent, in my opinion. The market just isn't big enough. That's kind of what I'm getting at. They need to, but what they do need to do is they need to show us I don't care if it's Xbox and PC. They just need to show us some new titles that I can obsess on, like I obsessed with
Yeah.
Horizon.
I mean, it's always nice,
I don't think that's hard
new
to have.
IPs and stuff. Or
Yeah.
Well, and some of it I think is just damned if you do, damned if you don't perception, because you'll hear, well, they need something besides Halo, Gears, and Forza, but anything that they bring out that's not Halo, Gears, and Forza doesn't get purchased. So yeah,
Right. Quantum Break.
well, I'm thinking more. That's a good one, but I was thinking like SSO,
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah. So
Criminal, Sunset Overdrive.
Which all
I
critically
got 2 copies
well.
of that game. One I bought digital day
Criminal.
one, and then I picked up a physical copy for $10 because it was on sale.
It's not
Nice.
like the media
Great
says this
game.
game sucks either. A lot of those got
Criminal.
good reviews.
Absolutely.
yeah, Record reviewed actually pretty decently.
Yeah, absolutely Criminal. And Recore was a smaller title. Recore to me kind of fit in that, not game style, but kind of in that where I saw Gravity Rush 2. Not a big title. I would say not a seller. I didn't think Recore was like a system seller. Sunset Overdrive should have done way more than it did. Sunset Overdrive was a critically accepted game. It was it was very well rated. It was a damn good, solid game with I would say minimal flaws, if I'm being
I
honest.
thought it needed a better multiplayer mode.
Yeah,
Probably it.
Yeah, maybe. I never played the Horde.
The single player mode I thought was fantastic, but the multiplayer, when I got into matches, it wasn't that fun.
And I didn't play it, and I didn't buy it for that.
yeah, me neither.
I bought it for the single player, and that was a game I obsessed over. I played it from start to finish, and that was the only game I played. I didn't play anything else.
Yeah, I think I was the same way.
Didn't
Didn't touch anything else, just this one game. Get all the collectibles and all that stuff. It was fun.
That is that's the mark of a good game for me. That's why right now Horizon Zero Dawn is my game of the year candidate, because when I got into the meat of that game, I put everything else on hold. Everything. I bought Ghost Recon with all intentions of playing it until my fingers bled. And then Horizon came along and
that's what he said about Doom 2.
But at least I paid $20 for that.
Yes.
I was, and so that's what I want. I want Microsoft to bring me a game that I am going to stop playing everything else for. And I don't need 5 of them. I don't need like a whole holiday's worth of them because I can't afford them. I'll take one right now. I'll take one. Just give me one. So, all right. Anything else on that?
Nope. And we're getting closer and closer, so I'm sure we'll hear something on that.
I'm certain. So, all right. Let me cue it up because it is time. Let me make sure I got
time for Knack.
Can I just mention that contest
please.
I want to do real quick?
Yes, please, because I'm queuing up the retro rec. So please do.
Okay, so I'm going to hold another Forza Horizon 3 Rivals Bounty Hunt competition. And so I've already got time up. And the contest is going to run basically from the second, if you want, all the way to, let's say 8 o'clock next Sunday. And in the Rivals tab in Forza, you can go to the monthly Rivals. There's a contest, actually, that Forza Horizon is doing with GM right now, and the monthly event is the #AutoAmazing race. It's a stock race in a Camaro SS through Surfer's Paradise at night. And if you run, that enters you into the contest that Forza is actually, because it's an official Forza contest I'm piggybacking on. So if you run, you have an entry in that contest. And I think there's 15 going to be drawn for a Xbox One S, a Forza package, and an Elite controller. including the Hot Wheels package and all that with it too. So it's a kind of a cool prize, and just running for my little contest kind of piggybacks on that. You automatically also enter into the Forza contest. As far as what I'm doing, if anyone beats my time, and I may go back and adjust if necessary, but if anyone beats my time, by Sunday 8, if I can't beat that time, then that person gets a $20 Xbox Live gift card. And if nobody does, then the fastest player who's not me gets 10. Nice. And so somebody's guaranteed to win a prize, and they can put that towards any kind of purchase on Xbox Live. And so it's been long enough since the last one that anyone who has won is up to no one's going to be turned away for having won a previous one. And I hope to see a lot of participation. I think it's a fun way to kind of get faster and get some practice. And I love the Rivals mode. I spent a lot of time with Rivals mode, and so looking forward to seeing some participation on that. And I'll tweet out a link and also a clip of the run that I have currently up at some point before around the end of the show tonight.
Okay, so is that American U.S. money, or is that pesos?
That is cash American money.
Cash money.
I'll
grab that video and maybe put it. How long is that video?
It's a run like 3-4 minutes.
All right.
Just a lap.
All right. We'll show it.
I recorded it a while back, but.
All right. Hey, Annihilator, thanks, man. Thanks for checking us live. And he says it's 4 a.m. there. That's
much. Thanks for stopping by.
He says he listens. He gets a chance to listen to us. He just doesn't get a chance live because of the time zone. So
makes sense.
Really, really appreciate that you hung out with us tonight. That means a lot to us. Honest to goodness, really does. So thank you so much. All right, let's do this. It is time for Juan's retro recommendation.
Indeed. Break.
Oh, I had the updated video and I put it in the wrong place. I actually put some. I'll have it next week. I have an updated trailer with the Megasalt footage.
Titles.
Yes.
Nice.
So
fail.
I know.
It'll do.
Restart the podcast. We messed up.
All right. This week.
Yep, this week we're going to head on back to 1993 on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This is going to be one of the more rare titles that I've done so far for the Retro Rec. And so go ahead and kick it off if you haven't.
I'm getting ready to right now.
We're looking at E.V.O, The Search for Eden, which was developed by Almanac Corporation and published by Enix in 1993. Almanac Corporation was from 1989 to 1998. They made Super NES, Mega Drive, 32X, N64, and Saturn games, but they only released 5 of them in North America. Enix, of course, is famous for being the back half of Square Enix. They were founded in 1975, famous for Dragon Warrior, Star Ocean, and they were absorbed into Square Enix in 2008. In this game, the player represents a creature on fictional Earth, and the god Sol and his daughter Gaia the god is trying to have a test, and so one creature is going to have to evolve through life and eventually earn his way into the Garden of Eden to join Gaia as her immortal partner. The game is divided into 5 different ages: the world before land, early creatures of land, the age of dinosaurs, the ice age, and early man. It's a side-scrolling kind of action platformer RPG. here you can see that you start in the oceans, the pre-land, pre-oxygen in the air oceans, as a fish. And basically, the player moves through the game, consuming creatures he can consume, or fleeing from the ones he can't. They can be bitten or rammed, or in later cases would land jumped on to defeat them. And they'll drop meat, which heals hit points and bestows E.V.O points. And those E.V.O points are banked up and can be used to purchase evolutions. So there's your starter fish, kind of slow, kind of weak, but there's all these handy squid to go around and eat that are below you on the food chain. Evolution can be done to individual body parts like the jaws, the fins, the dorsal fin. You can add a horn, and they add various stats like hit points, or attack power, quicker movement. The horn can be used for ramming, and so although that can break if you use too much, and you burn the E.V.O points that way.
The fish
Throughout the game-
RPG.
Yep, it's almost like early Spore. No, but there are various different types of creatures with more hit points or E.V.O points for the meat. Of course, they're more dangerous and evolve to compete and be able to go after nastier things and earn bigger meat to earn more E.V.O points to get better evolutions. That kind of loop plays. Scattered throughout the game are these crystals. Some of them provide story and the background of the whole kind of odd multi-theistic theory of evolution gameplay. Some of them also can evolve the creature for a short period of time into a very powerful, limited time form. The crystals also feature into the plot because there are creatures in the areas that have eaten the crystals and become, the boss characters in the game. In the example video here, I've saved up just about enough points to do my first evolution. I'll go to a menu and pick. I always start with the jaws, just because killing things more efficiently means getting more E.V.O points efficiently, quicker, and it changes the character model. I love the animation character models. There's so many over the course of the game. There's so many different forms and character animations you can have. It's kind of rich that way. But you get a different bite with the teeth and much more power. And so I went on this other area, and there are these big nasty armored fish.
Uh-oh.
And my new bites only do 1 point of damage, right? But I get that nice, sweet meat. So I'm going to keep at it. Didn't work out so hot.
No.
But Gaia,
I don't know. This just reminds me of Feeding Frenzy for some reason.
That's fair. The Gaia, though, she's pulling for you, so she's going to resurrect you. Just keep it secret from Dad. And she's going to take, it says some of your E.V.O points, but it's really half. I've kind of jumped forward now. I've already gotten some more evolutions, so I can have a little more movement and a better bite, so these fish aren't quite the same challenge they were just a moment ago. Later, again, I'm much faster, much more evolved, and I'm coming across the first boss character in the game.
The boss fish.
It's like, you can't help these other creatures make oxygen. The only world is the sea. I shall defeat you.
This looks like the kind of game a parent would want banned. Would have banned the Anchorman.
Right. Like, what are you teaching my kids about, polytheism?
Echo the Dolphin, this isn't.
Right? But yeah, even this is about the most evolved you could make that fish, the little fish that I am. Except for maybe making him a little bigger, which doesn't seem to help my experience. But the boss is a pretty tough little fight.
I love the facial expression.
Right. They put a lot of work into the characters and the animations in this.
I see that.
I like the music in the game.
too.
It was pretty well. The music was actually performed by the Tokyo City Philharmonics in their second annual game music concert series. Not this particular bit, but different parts of the game.
You done bit him in the ass.
Bosses give you big meat, lots of points carrying into the next age or whatever. And as it progresses through the 4 ages, you can branch whether you want to be a mammal or if you want to stay a lizard or if you want to become an avian.
Oh my god, look, it's Lizard Man.
And mutton chops.
Yep. Jumps out of the water.
Mutton chops, my
Evolves
lover.
into a- Yep. But yep, and then Gaia's like, okay, well, let's fast forward a little bit since you've made that progress, and she opens a time door and moves you on to the next chapter, which is where I cut the video there. It was reviews on this were mild but generally positive. GamePro praised its originality, its overall design, and it found fault with the graphics, which I don't know. I love the sprites. Nintendo Power enjoyed the creatures' ingenuity and found the grind tedious. I can attest to that. I've cut a fair amount of just eating things for meat out of this video. All game kind of slammed it. 2 of 5. They liked the challenging creatures, noticed sluggish play, and graphics were poor for the time, they say. But more contemporary reviews rate it a lot better. 2001, the Video Game Bible called it wildly underrated and highly original. IGN ranked E.V.O. second in its list of prehistoric games prior to the release of Spore. I really like it. It's tough. I actually haven't finished it yet, so that's something I want to do this year. But it gets really difficult. And it's kind of a gem in my collection just because it's unique like that. I mean, there's really not a lot like it back in the day, and it's actually kind of hard to come by a copy.
Nice.
Authentic cards can range anywhere from 180 to 200 plus. And there's a lot of reproductions being passed off as authentic, so you always want to try to, when you get that in from wherever, because I got it through eBay, the one of these little jobbies right here is nice for cracking it open and making sure that you can check the ROM and for authenticity.
That's
I haven't. Mine's authentic. Love it. It's right here, and it's just one of those gems of my collection. So I wanted to make it one of my retro recs.
I appreciate that.
That is great. I love the incredible 12 meg game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Spread
going
out.
way
And like
over
you said, those
4.6
eyeballs popping out of the
billion
fish's
years.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unique. It's got a little bit of a cult following. It's not. It's maybe not the best game on the system or of its time or anything like that, but I like it. Like I said, it's one of the ones I want to do a playthrough on for the channel at some point this year, just to have finally finished it, because I never owned it when I was a kid. I had rented it, and it's like I said, a fair amount of grind and time you have to put into it. So I have a copy now, and I'm looking forward to finishing it, and that's why it's this week's rec.
Well, you have, I mean, the gameplay is 4.6 billion years. I mean, you're never going to finish it.
Right? Yeah.
So, if I hear any Nickelback, I'm going to go find some Nickelback. So that's great. I love that one. That's a good one. Fish RPG. I'm down.
Yeah, and eventually you're going up against dinosaurs, and you make your own dinosaur. I think the last creature, there's a boss that I'm stuck at, and the creature is kind of an armored lion that I have right now, but I need to change that. I'm kind of like a lion armadillo, but he might be too slow for the boss that way. I might have to make him smaller and try to make him small with big mouth.
Nice. And you see
Sounds
who
exciting.
the developer is, right?
That's do you publisher or developer?
Well, yes, publisher developer.
Yeah, it's the developer was I can't. It's not Almanac. Almanac, and of course NX was the publisher.
That's what I was getting at. NX.
Yep. No, I love all their stuff. I loved I loved ActRaiser. That was them around the same time. I like their stuff quite a bit.
Awesome. All right. What else did they have, Anix? Say ActRaiser, Dragon Quest. They published a very successful Dragon Quest series. What else did they have? Star Ocean, Tri-Ace stuff. Quintets, ActRaiser. What else did they do? Was Illusion of Gaia part of this? Not necessarily, because they talk about Gaia in E.V.O. Was Illusion of Gaia part of this series?
This is a standalone. There wasn't any kind of sequel or tie-in to this.
Okay. I just wasn't sure because I remember Illusion of Gaia being an Enix game, but I don't remember if it had any, because I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I didn't know if it had anything to do with this game because the fish, of course, talks about Gaia. So, just wasn't sure.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, gentlemen, I think we have covered everything, if you can believe it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So now we come to our final goodbyes.
I did want to say I've figured out. I have decided what I want to do on the next retro, and I've got time, of course, to work on it. Being on vacation, we're going to go back to the original Xbox, and we're going to do a little Team Ninja. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I know what it is.
I don't know. It's pretty hot.
They're complaining that we didn't talk about Darksiders 3.
Well,
I just mentioned it, so we talked about it.
There
There
you
you go. Darksiders.
well, hold on.
They didn't actually announce it.
Okay. Well, you know what, Frankie. How's Darksiders 3? Okay.
Oh, it sucks.
emoji
That's too
said.
bad.
So yes, the emoji says it's a horrible game. So
Cheating game.
you know what? When he's on next week, he could talk about Darksiders 3, and if he gives me some footage, I'll even
Skype me in.
Oh, so now he wants to Skype in. So
He said about Skype earlier, like an hour ago.
if I can figure out how to do that and not screw everybody's windows up, I would be happy to. But so.
No.
So if he comes on next week, I know next week. So next week is Mother's Day. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I assume that I will be available because we'll be doing Mother's Day stuff in the daytime, and then my wife's going to bed anyway. So depending on what you guys all have going on, will determine whether or not we are.
No idea yet.
Yeah. So
It's usually, we don't plan anything and we just kind of
I like
wing whatever.
Yeah,
Wing it.
so we'll go out. My father and I will take Michelle and my mother to a nice brunch, and then I'll let her sleep in and that kind of thing. But other than that, we don't go out to dinner or anything special like that. I expect to be here. So anybody else got anything else before we sign off? And I go back to playing the Old Blood, because now I want to finish that damn game. Now I want to
Narco Road.
Narco Road.
I'll party up with you guys.
Ghost
But
Recon.
I'm gonna play that damn game. I'm going to finish it. So, any other news tidbits, anything like that before we head out?
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
I think the Forza-thon is coming to an end today. Is that today? Is today the 8th?
Yes.
Today's the 7th.
The
7th?
yeah.
Oh, then you still have one more day then. For a second, I thought it said the.
I think that's on their time though. That's a first day.
So you have 3.5 hours to for unlocking a barnyard find but you have to race using a Porsche. So I'm not sure how you would end up a Porsche unless you buy the pack or have done the previous Forza-thons. But there's a barnyard find, and that's also a Porsche. Surprise!
Right.
So you have 3 hours and 35 minutes. Go, go, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to knock that out.
And then come Tuesday night and the rest of the week, it's Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. Yep. Ooh,
That has to be
hot.
that has to be the greatest racing game DLC ever. That takes Blizzard Mountain and Storm Island and just
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
that has,
it was a huge surprise, though. I never expected anything.
Hi, Switch.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
to hit that route with it, but I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to get into that.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
yeah, I can't wait. That's
So if anyone wants to join, we'll have parties going. And
Party.
and you can be part. You can come be part of our streams.
Yep.
So,
All
right.
Sweet.
well, thanks everyone as usual. Chat room was hot, loving it, and we had finally a guy who had been listening to us and came in live from overseas, and once again, all seriousness, that does mean so much to us. I know he rolled out. A couple people rolled out because of time, so thanks to our buddies over at BRAP, and thank you to Super Cooper and Fastback and Creepy
Ghost
Bunny
Recon.
and Ghost Recon and wait, what? And Creepy Bunny and Reprobate and all of our friends that hang out with us. Nahapuki was able to hang out with us for a little bit. He was on the night shift. So yeah, so thank you guys so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. We really honestly do love you. You guys are you're part of NLG, all of you, and it's just it's great to see some fantastic conversation, even when we don't agree. The Microsoft and Sony talk when it comes to the games and stuff always has strong opinions from everybody, and the great the great thing about it is we can discuss it and we can chat and we can be civil. So I love the chat room for that. And okay, fine. Short Pause Gaming, even though Frankie's not here this week, he's in the chat. Don't forget our
You
friends.
should just pause the show right now.
Yeah,
Short
really.
pause.
So don't forget they are our brothers in gaming is Short Pause, and of course Anchorman, the great folks over at Tick. We love them too. And I have to say, just as an aside from what we were supposed to have tonight and didn't, I actually appreciate Cal, the head of Tick, for kind of giving me some of his experience with trying to get guests on and things like that, and at least made me feel like we're not the only ones that have a hard time with it. So an Anchorman, always a good friend of ours, always a good friend of the shows, and great guy all around. So we thank you guys so much for supporting us, and we support you as best we can as well as always. So yeah, I know. Never underestimate public shaming. I just wasn't going to do it. I don't have that. I don't have those balls yet. So, so anyway, thank
Name
you.
and shame.
Yeah. So,
Oh, look who just
yeah, I know.
entered
Twitch came in
the
at the
chat.
end. See, this is what happens. We have this reputation of being a 5-hour podcast, so people think they can hook in at 11:28 and think we're right in the middle of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So anyway, panel, as always. Not even panel, just co-host, the NLG crew. This is like not even guests anymore. Even you, Nathan. You're not even a guest anymore.
appreciate I like this.
You're the sixth tile.
Makes gaming fun again.
Yeah, it does. And I love even though we talked about stuff from a week ago, it still is good to get us all in here and get us together. So, Juan, enjoy your vacation.
Count on that.
Ooh,
For
vacation.
that.
Hmm.
Jason,
I want
enjoy your
pictures.
hockey.
That
Enjoy your
place looks
hockey.
beautiful, by the way.
Yeah,
Here
I'm probably going to take a couple snaps of the place when we get there and such, but it won't be for very long.
Yeah.
No, I don't need the whole. This just looks beautiful. I would like.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to get to. This is one of my favorite spots.
Where are you going?
It's a getaway resort place not too far from where we live. It's purpose built basically. It's you drive into a private garage entrance and close the door behind you, and then there's a private in-room pool. It's about 20 feet long. Then there's a sauna there as well, and then stairs go up to the actual room where there's a big jacuzzi tub and like the rain style shower, and a big fireplace, huge cozy bed, big screen TV. Gonna take the Xbox up for streaming duties because the cable TV there is terrible. That's like the worst thing about the place is the TV. So the Xbox comes with us, and then I can game when she's sleeping, and and we got the streaming duties. But we tried to do that like annually, but couldn't make it last year. So I'm excited to get back.
Nice.
But yeah, if you haven't ever been in a place that just has like no windows and you lock out the outside doors, like there is no outside world except for room service for 48 straight hours. There's no phone, there's no Twitter, there's no job. There's just a pool.
Nice.
And a hot tub. And yeah, it's really amazing. Like I can't put words into enough how much like just you get in and you shut the door and it's like
goodbye world.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean it all just goes away. It's like magic.
That must be nice. We have
It's
this
phenomenal.
thing. We have this thing at work now called work-life integration, and
How to integrate work into your life.
that is
24
pretty-
hours.
That is actually pretty much it. Our company is going to a 24/7, 365 service business model, which means I will be taking my Surface tablet on vacations with me. So it's just it's the nature of it's the nature of some industries. You just
Yep.
so Peter knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And technology, as good as technology is, technology has created that problem.
Yeah. It follows you wherever you go.
Yep, and will follow me until I retire. So this is why I cherish these Sunday nights too. Even though it didn't work out to plan, I still cherish having you guys around and talk. And the guys in the chat room, and that's why it means so much to me for all of this. It's why NLG. It's what NLG is to me now. It's much more than just an old gaming channel that I resurrected. It is now. It's this, and so I'll take this into my work-life integration. So, all right, guys, let's call it here, and I'll see you guys online. And anybody else who wants to join our party for the after party, come on in.
After
Yep.
party.
I'll be online more this week than I normally am.
Cool.
So if anyone wants to hit up some Mario Kart or some Forza or some anything, just let me know. I know, Mike, we might have to look at trying to get into the thing that we can't talk about at the same time at some point.
Yes. Yeah, I totally missed it again today or
Yep.
yesterday. So, all right, Nathan, one more good cough for us before we go for Frankie's sake.
I warned people. I was like, come on, Frankie, save. Oh, I'm not getting on today. And I'm like, okay. I hope I wasn't that bad.
All right. So, all right, guys.
Frankie insane.
So until next time, hopefully we'll see you guys next Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we decide that Mother's Day is too important, and then perhaps not. But I'm expecting at least I'll be around, so we may
I'll
see
be
you
there.
guys. So we'll see you online this week. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next time. Play on, gamers.
Bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
Call
Costa
of
Rica,
Duty.
not
Yeah.
the road.
Woo.
Yeah.
Blue Shell.
Ghost Recon. Fly in a chopper.
Get to the top off.
Still want to crash the chopper. It's got food and medical supplies or something.
Maybe that's why I haven't played Ghost Recon in a while. Is I'm just tired of getting hit with a chopper by HDK.
You're blowing up in the chopper.
Look at all you handsome devils.
Land this thing with their crashing. There we go.